Hi guys. Yeah, so I'll be creating a Postman documentation for BlockX pay demo. So yeah, for you to actually create a transaction and to make a payment request transaction. So we have several endpoints. So we're starting from the payment request endpoint. So yeah, so we'll do a workaround about the payload. There's external ID. The external ID have to be very unique. So it could be order ID, invoice ID, an ID that will be used to create the wallet address which will be used to receive payment. So in this, we'll be using 444. I'm going to be using 41, which is 1 4 times, and there's fiat, which is one of the attributes, so which will be using USD. Yeah, which is dollar. The amount is zero point 0.1. So yeah, we could actually see the endpoint, the amount, the callback URL. This callback URL is really important because this callback URL will actually receive a notification from the system, from BlockX payment system, if the transaction was successful, if it was not, if it is partially paid, overpaid. Yeah, so a notification will be sent to this endpoint, and we are actually this endpoint should be expecting a status code of 202, which means it is accepted. Yeah, so users have to supply a callback URL for them to receive notification about the transaction if the transaction was successful. So we'll hit the endpoint and head over to MetaMask. So here we'll copy the wallet address. Then before we go to MetaMask, we check if there's ever be a transaction for this endpoint. So yeah, this is the previous demo I did. So I will check for this new created wallet address. So we hit the send endpoint. So the transaction is empty here. It's empty because this is a newly created wallet address. So now here we're on the MetaMask using testnet to perform this transaction, paste the wallet address, and also enter the amount. So the amount with the fee which the system added to the amount which will be used to perform this transaction, which is 0.01001. So we enter that, we click continue. Um, Click continue, we confirm. There's a BNB field that's added to it. So we confirm, wait for the node to synchronize. So once everything is successful, we got a response of confirmed. So let's wait for some seconds. It doesn't take time, it's confirmed. So let's head back to Postman and check the transaction if it was successful or not. Yeah, we have a successful transaction. The status is confirmed. Everything works perfectly fine. There's a transaction hash which was created for this transaction. So we copy this transaction and go to BSC scan. So we're on testnet. So the subdomain will be testnet.bsc scan. On mainnet, it will be bscscan.com. So yeah, these are the transactions, these are the nodes, these are the block that was running on the blockchain. So we paste in the transaction hash to check what actually happened to this transaction. So we get to see where the payment is coming from, the from and the to, and the amount. The token is USDTC. Yeah, so and the amount is 0.100. Yeah, the token is USDTC. Yeah, there's a transaction fee, gas fee. Yeah, so the subdomain is testnet because we are running on testnet. So once let's get back to Postman. We're on Postman now. Let's check the invoice for this transaction hash. Let's copy the transaction hash and head back to invoice. Yeah, or the base URL slash tx dash invoice slash transaction hash slash the external ID. Like I said, the external ID could be invoice ID, order ID, the ID that is unique for creating this wallet address, which we use for creating for making payment requests, which is 1111. Yeah, like I said, it could be anything. Just make sure you keep note of the external ID that was used. So now let's add the extra one, then send request. Fine. The transaction was successful, the amount that was paid, the wallet address, the amount that was paid, the crypto is BNB the status is successful, everything looks good. So now let's head to crypto endpoint to see supported crypto endpoint, supported crypto token we support USDC, USDTT, and BNB. So these are the list of crypto token which our system support. Yes. The metrics, you need to hash the username and password and pass it in the header. Authorization, the value basics slash the token that was hashed. We're not doing that now. So now let's just walk through what we've did before and hit the endpoint again. Yeah, everything is successful. Go to crypto, hit the crypto endpoint, list of supported crypto token we are using, the transaction, hit the transaction endpoint, everything looks good. Let's go to the invoice. Yeah, a quick note here. The external ID, like I said, it has to be unique. If you hit this endpoint multiple times, you get the same wallet address. So we hit it now. You notice the same wallet address. So this wallet address is tied to this external ID.